Hey Aquarius, what's up? We're here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out, cards actually, are Three of Pentacles and Empress. So Three of Pentacles, generally, it's like a situation where there's someone else that you're talking to, somebody else that you're interacting with. Having the Empress here can be about like what one wants to create or what one wants to produce. When we think about the Empress, that's connected with Venus energy. And so it can be about how we're sort of giving like our gifts to the world or art to the world or something that we feel like we have to give, right? Because Venus is associated with like our talents and our skills and what we find to be beautiful. And the Empress is about fertility in the sense of creating. And so it's something that you may be thinking about making something, creating something, but I'm also seeing the Five of Swords here too. So it can be like, I want to produce this, I want to make this. Venus would be anything that like you put your touch on something. Having Five of Swords here can be like fear of judgment, fear of criticism, self-judgment, self-criticism. It can be a preoccupation with that as well. Or it can feel like somebody that you're working with isn't supporting you properly, maybe not in the way that you want. But it can also show sometimes us being like a little bit impatient with another person. I am seeing the Hanged Man. So at first, you may sort of like interpret this situation one way, but then I'm seeing that it looks like something is going to change or even turn around. Wow, 3 court cards in a row. We have Queen of Wands, King of Cups, King of Pentacles. I feel like something is being broken down here. Like maybe even into different sections or different parts. Okay, so there's definitely tension here between you and another person. You could be at odds with somebody that you're trying to work with right now. Because like with the Empress, right, you think of it as kind of being like a baby. So, I mean, as much as it can be a real baby or like somebody pregnant or a mother, it can be, or like a matriarch of some type, a feminine figure. Women in general also are connected with Venus. But how I'm seeing this be is sort of like Empress feels like the final product of something. And I'm seeing you working with another person to sort of like produce something here, okay? So like you have a teammate or maybe you're working with multiple people. This looks like a working situation of some sort, or it can be within your personal life, but it's not just you. There's someone else here, and I'm seeing there be a conflict, and it feels like it's connected directly with like the person that you're working with, something that's going on within the interaction, and it's also connected with the Empress too. So the Empress is like trying to need to agree on like the color that the album is going to be. Like you really want it to be blue and the other person wants it to be purple. And you guys are having a fight over it. It feels like that sort of thing. And you guys are supposed to be like working together, but I'm seeing there be differing opinions here. That being said, maybe there was like a feeling about the way that one expressed right? Because this can be like somebody having a problem with something and then saying something about it, like, this is how I feel. But they can sort of like be bringing some sort of drama with them, or some sort of conflict too, where it's like, I know that this is controversial, but I don't agree with you. And then I'm seeing the Five of Swords here. So this can be feeling, I don't know, mad about somebody not agreeing. Can be like, look at all of what I gave you. What do you mean you have a problem with this? Because I'm seeing Knight of Cups meeting Five of Swords. And so Five of Swords is like, don't tell me that, I don't want to hear it. And Knight of Cups is like, I'm just trying to express how I'm feeling. This could be in a relationship too. Like, you're trying to work something out with somebody. Having the Empress too can be somebody like stepping into their power and feeling empowered and trying to make decisions that feel empowering to them. And there can be somebody looking at this person feeling a type of way about that. Like, maybe feeling a bit triggered is the vibe that I get with this. Because see how Five of Swords is looking at the Empress here? The Empress is somebody that's like, I'm in touch with my nature and I'm flowing with things and I'm creating things. Even if you're not like literally creating things, it's sort of just how you're moving through life, okay? Like flowing with stuff. Because it's the connection of the feminine energy, so it's sort of like rolling around within the chaos of everything and moving to the groove of it. Like that receptivity and then emerging from it. And then to have the Five of Swords, this can be one's own self-criticism of like, who do I think I am to be showing up in this way? But it can also be represented by somebody around you that's feeling triggered by you showing up in a way that feels empowering to you. Because Five of Swords is somebody that, like, they're not doing that for themselves, and so they see you as a representation of what they're failing to do within themselves. So I get the vibe of someone being like a little bit triggered here. Some of you guys, this is your energy, and there's no judgment. It is what it is. If you're looking at somebody that's doing something and expressing themselves in some way, creating something, making something, showing up. Like, Empress is about getting up on stage and doing something. Like, here's my performance for everybody. Like, this is what I prepared for you guys. It's like that. But I'm seeing it not be like a stranger to you. Like, this is actually somebody that you're working with. And you may look at them and be judging them. But it's being triggered because it's like, you know, it's one of those moments where somebody could be talking about another person, like, look at them on stage, like, making fun of them, but it's because, like, you actually want to be the one that's up there, you know? Like, that sort of thing. And to have the Hanged Man next to it, it gives the feeling of, like, maybe that hasn't been fully realized yet. But as one is realizing this Hanged Man, one is like, oh, like, I want to do my version of going up on stage. Like, I want to show them what I got. But it's only going to work if you're not, like, copying others. It's, like, only going to work if it's you and how you want to do it. That's what this is about. It's, like, authenticity and what you have to give, what you want to serve. And that's also the connection with Venus, too. Having, like, both Venus and Neptune, which are very connected with one another, is, like, a very artsy, I'm hearing emblematic. It's a very artsy energy. It's very like, I'm connected with things and I'm creating things. It's very creative. It's very intuitive. It's very in touch. It's very nuanced even. And having the Queen of Wands here and Neptune here, which is connecting with like your intuition and your creativity and what you're channeling and what you want to produce based off of that, how you want to show up. Even if it's just like how you're dressing, you know, or how you're talking. It's like your own style of how you do things. So it feels like somebody that you were working with that maybe you felt initially triggered by, you looking at that and being like, oh, like this is a sign to me, rather than judging yourself, you know, because we can get jealous, feel jealousy about something, or feel animosity, or triggered in some way, and be like, oh, I can't believe that I'm feeling like that, I'm a bad person, you know, we're like very quick to throw labels on everything. Or you can just look at this and be like, you know what? I'm going to try to understand what the message of this is to me. And what I'm understanding is that I'm seeing somebody do something that I want to do in my own way. And so this is a message to me where I want to be taking action. I want to be taking the initiative, and I'm not. So it's just like a self-reflection. Everything that you're seeing, always, constantly, self-reflection. Sometimes we don't realize, though, that we're looking into a mirror, and that's where we can get tripped up, because it's like, I swore it was another person I was looking at in the mirror, but it's really just you, all the time, always. So, having Queen of Wands here feels like figuring out how you want to show up and just like doing that, going with that. King of Cups feels like needing to maybe ground something a little bit. King of Cups can be like tucking something in emotionally, even like maybe something that was becoming a bit ungrounded, or it can just be needing to like lock something up here. And then King of Pentacles is sort of like the way that we go about enacting something, carrying something out. Some of you, there are 3 people involved. Yeah, I'm hearing cyclone. There are 3 people involved in the collaboration that you're doing. I'm seeing 1 feminine figure, 2 masculine figures. I feel too like there's going to be this recognition that everybody has something different to bring to the table, and that you guys can work together, but there could have been something going on before. This feels so specific. This feels like a personal reading. What I get is that with the Empress, it can sort of be like in a cohesive way what all of us are doing, and like the final, again, like product of what's happening. But to have these 3 energies here, it feels like someone showing up as the Queen of Wands, somebody showing up as the King of Cups, somebody showing up as the King of Pentacles. Like when you see court cards next to one another, well, I guess just for this example, you can kind of imagine them having a conversation with one another. So Queen of Wands would show up and be like, this is me and this is how I'm expressing myself and these are my ideas. It's like this very fiery energy, like, I had this idea last night and I'm really excited about it. Then you have King of Cups, which is the more grounded energy, can be more of a peacemaker, peacekeeper. You can see Queen of Wands and King of Pentacles starting to argue with one another and being like, hey, like, let's figure this out, you know, because I'm seeing that person also be in the middle too. And then you have, and this person would also, King of Cups would also be somebody receptive, like listening to everybody and considering what everybody's saying and sort of like having intuitive understanding of what's going on emotionally and sort of what's happening in an unsaid way and between the lines. And then you have this King of Pentacles over here, which can be maybe like the person in charge, or it can be the person that could be funding this thing, or it can be somebody that is sort of the like business aspect of things. Maybe handling that sort of stuff here. The financial side. So we have these 3 people, we have these 3 energies, and then we have conflict. And then I'm seeing a message about sort of like what somebody is trying to create here, and I'm seeing there be something reminiscent of the past, of something like historical, or even familial. I'm feeling this again. sometimes when we first try working together with one another, there can be a feeling of like everyone sort of, I don't know, there being clashes because of a lack of similarities, but I feel like something really important is being understood here about how everybody has something different to bring to the table. Like, just these court cards are very different from one another. One, you have a feminine energy, and then you have two masculine energies. One of them is fire, one of them is water, one of them is pentacles. So you have fire, water, and earth energy. So you just have like very different natures within these energies, very different agendas, and very different how they show up. But I'm getting there be this vibe of like, we're here working together on whatever this is. Some of you too, I'm wondering like if this is in your personal life, this can like actually be, there can be like a co-parenting situation even that's happening here. Not for everybody. For some of you, I'm seeing that this is a project that's being worked on. So there's like a bit of a conflict that's happening, which feels like a little bit, maybe there's some sort of controversy, it feels. So Three of Pentacles, it's like, let's all listen to each other and work together, and we're supposed to be working in unison with one another so we can have like this common goal of what we're trying to accomplish. But I'm just seeing like so much friction that's happening here. Then I'm seeing there be Knight of Cups, so this is somebody sharing how they're feeling, but Magician is connected with it. So this is like I'm saying how I'm feeling, and I'm also expressing my intention here of what I'm intending to manifest, to create, of what I'm envisioning here and what I'm trying to make happen as well. Then I'm seeing Six of Cups, and I'm seeing the Emperor, which is feeling like a very nostalgic authoritarian energy. Like even like a very traditional sort of feeling here. All of these court cards, there has to be like a whole party of people here. I'm now seeing the Queen of Cups here as well. And Aries is popping out again, and Aries was in your last reading too. So I get the vibe of someone sort of like having Magician and having Six of Cups can be like, I want things to go back to when they were nice. Because Six of Cups, it's like so sweet and so nostalgic, and like the memories of when times were very sentimental and felt endearing. Like it's one of those cards where it's about like the past and the good times and those moments where we felt connected and everyone was treating each other nicely. And so, like, amidst this sort of tussle that's happening over here, you have somebody being like, my intention is for things to be nice. And this can be, too, a transition from fire energy, where there's, like, a lot of combustion that's happening, to then water, where it's like, I can sort of put my passion and my fire and my anger aside to let you know, like, what I'm feeling underneath it, like, where the water is. And expressing that, and like I want things to be nice. And having the Emperor too, it can be like we need to all be adults here working together. And then I'm seeing Nine of Wands, and I'm seeing the Queen of Cups here. And so like the challenge can be to be like open emotionally sort of to what's going on, and to be compassionate, and to be, I'm hearing respectful, to be receptive with the Queen of Cups. But that can be a challenge, so it may not be easy to tap into that energy, because it's like feeling guarded, having this wall, and that's what's blocking one from sort of opening their heart emotionally to the situation. There could be maybe a specific issue between two of these people here, but like everybody may be impacted by it too. Or there's like more of a problem with two of the individuals between. So we have Venus, we have Mercury, we have Neptune, and we have Aries. Wait, I need to say this too because I'm seeing it. There may be 3 people that are working together in like the main collaboration, but I'm seeing another individual that's tied to one of the people. That sort of seems like they're outside of this thing that's happening, but they're connected to one of the people. So they're not part of like the main group of 3, but they're attached to one of the people that's in the main group of 3. It looks like one of the masculine figures that this feminine figure is attached to. I'm hearing Bordeaux. I'm hearing group. I'm hearing Ruben. There's a moment when things are presented where it feels like a lot comes up at once. But if you just sort of feel your way through this, it's like your guides are coming up to you and they have a brown paper bag and they're like, close your eyes and put your hand in here. You need to feel around and just keep moving your hand around until you find the right thing. The bag with all the stuff in it. So you have your hand in there, and having High Priestess, it's like you need to like close your eyes and feel this out. Like you'll know, even though you don't really know what's in there, you're just gonna know when you touch the right piece. Ace of Cups. So this is like how this is gonna get figured out, okay? So you go from being like, look at all these cups here, you have all of these options, this thing that you're trying to figure out here. High Priestess knows which one is gonna be the one that you wanna click on, the one that you wanna pick. But you're gonna have to, it's gonna take a minute. You're not gonna know right away. It may also be not something that can be solved logically too, having High Priestess here. It's something you have to feel out, and it's like gut feelings too. Like there may not be a very, you know, sometimes we get signals and signs where it's like, yep, 100%. This is more so you're gonna feel it in your gut and tap into it that way. I'm seeing Sagittarius here as well. I'm also looking at the moon. Now we have 5 people here. Strong, strong Aries energy. It's interesting too because like we have a bunch of court cards out here, and I'm seeing the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands are connected by the Emperor, which is a fire energy, Aries. And then the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups are touching one another diagonally or adjacent. Both. So we go through all of this stuff, and it feels like at the end of the day, the thing that's going to be most important is finding oneself within a situation where they actually need to open their heart, even though that may not be the first intuitive feeling of what to, the first instinctive feeling of what to do here. Because I'm seeing the Emperor, and then I'm seeing the 9 of Wands, and then the Queen of Cups. And so Emperor can sort of be like, I need to be rough, and I need to be determined, and I need to be straightforward, and it's kind of like this hard energy, because Emperor is like, I'm in charge of things and I have to make disciplined choices and I sacrifice. It can be that sort of thing. And then so it's somebody that sort of has this role of responsibility that they're trying to fulfill currently, but the actual challenge here is for this person to enter into their Queen of Cups energy, which is to be very receptive and very understanding and very compassionate, and just going through this thing while keeping one's heart wide open. That's the challenge. So it's like, how do you have all of these responsibilities and like need to make sacrifices and need to do the hard thing and have to be determined and have to be disciplined and also keep your heart open as you move through? And at first, it feels like the floodgates are open and a lot of stuff comes up. So this is that scene where the guides come out and they're like, put your hand in the paper bag, try to feel this out. And it's like one's heart is open, the flood sort of happens, and then fishing around trying to find this Ace of Cups. But the High Priestess finds it. So this means that if you open up intuitively, you're going to find this thing. You're going to find the right thing in the paper bag. And then having Temperance here, it's sort of being patient with the process. So I feel like something is secured here. And then I feel like there's maybe a stepping into taking action connected with what one wants. So opportunity, and then somebody maybe opportunity and connection. I feel like there are layers to this. Like at first you have to pick something out of a pile, and then once you have that thing, it's like you have to wait until there's like another layer to the scene is what I'm seeing. Like it doesn't just all begin and end with the Ace of Cups. I feel like the Ace of Cups is in the middle. So you may be in a situation that feels unclear at first, and then the Ace of Cups comes out of it, which for those of you that like aren't familiar with what that means, it can mean that at first you're trying to figure out a situation where there are not clear like defined boundaries and lines and walls, and then from that where it's like you have no idea sort of what's going to come out of this, you're just trying to intuitively move through it, then the Ace of Cups comes out of it. So Ace of Cups is like an opportunity to connect. Like somebody being open to connection, another person being open to connection, and them having like their opportunity with one another. And then Temperance is like needing to take the time to sort of water that and grow and see where it goes. But it also seems like, you know, sometimes we connect with somebody and get excited immediately and want to like do the most. This is about not doing that. So you get the Ace of Cups, but I'm seeing Temperance. So it's almost like you get that thing that you want, but you can't run this over, and you can't run this through quickly. You have to really take your time. It feels like very, very delicate, like maybe a very delicate connection between you and this person. And I'm seeing like for those of you that are identified with this like very, very like vigorous fire energy, because the way that I'm seeing this fire energy come through, like how you'll know who this person is somebody that is very expressive and straightforward. Like I'm definitely getting a lot of, I'm seeing Aries, but it just feels like fire in general. Oh, Sagittarius, it's Aries and Sagittarius. So when you think about Sagittarius, you think about being very straightforward, wanting to clear things up, like really the truth is like the most important thing, not liking confusion. And so it can be sometimes like those of us that have like that Aries and Sag energy can be like, oh, another blunt person that we're talking to. But for other people, it may like freak them out a little bit. It may come off like a little bit too intense. So those of you that are identified with this fire energy, you may want to be like, listen, let's talk about what this is, and I want to know what's going on, and like, what are you feeling about this, and what's going to happen within our connection. You know, it's this very like, I want to know what's happening, and it can be bringing a lot of energy into something where with a cup, it's like you're going to boil the water and it's going to evaporate and nothing is going to be left. So you have to cool it off a little bit. And I do get the vibe of this is like going to go where you want it to go, but you have to be patient with it. As I said before, this Ace of Cups is feeling very delicate. So this connection that you have with this person that you've sort of like newly arrived at, it's very, very delicate. So even though you're going to be able to eventually within the connection show up how you want, it feels like dialing it back a little bit. And that doesn't mean not being you. It just means like dialing the intensity back a little bit, because I'm seeing the moon connected with it. So I feel like whoever's on the other, for those of you that are identified with the fire energy, whoever's on the other side of this, I'm getting a very, very sensitive, maybe even timid, maybe a little bit not direct energy that you're connecting with the moon over here. Like this can be somebody with Cancer placements or like prominent water placements within their chart, where it's like sometimes they like to feel things out or like not talk about things because they want to have an experience where that may not be your style. So there's like a bit of a difference. So I feel like that's sort of being adjusted to here. And that's what this is about. So it's not bringing your full energy immediately. Because I'm seeing like once you guys get used to each other in this way, once the Ace of Cups is like a bit for like the Two of Cups, once it's gone to like the next level of it, I feel like then you're going to be able to sort of do what you want and you won't really scare this person off. But for some of you, I get like a very timid vibe. And to have the High Priestess, it can be somebody that like they don't say a whole lot too. So you're like, what's going on with you? I want to know, like, show me behind the curtain. And they're like, ooh, don't look there yet. Like very much like that sort of situation with you and this person. And you may be like, I'll show you behind my curtain, you know, like really not caring about that and being like, I want experience, I want intensity, like I want to be vulnerable, you know, like that very, it's the fire energy. But then like with this other person that you're connecting with, they sort of need to like ease into it. Like that's not how they roll. And so you guys are kind of like meeting each other halfway here. But you have to be mindful too, especially like I'm speaking from experience, right? Like my rising is Sagittarius and my moon is Aries. Like I definitely understand for those of you that are connected with the fire energy, like that intensity and like coming off really strongly. Now I forget where I was going with that. It'll come back if it's important. You're gonna have what you want. It's just about connecting with this person in the way that they're comfortable immediately as you guys get familiar. It's like when you like are introducing two cats to one another and you don't like force them together immediately, you know? It's like you have one cat in the room, the other one is sort of like walking around the perimeter, and soon they're gonna be best buddies with one another. But at first they're like, are you here to fight me? So that's what's happening. Yeah, it looks like you're wanting this Ace of Cups to turn into a relationship, and that's exactly where it's going to go. Because I'm seeing there be, like, what I want most in the world is for there to be, I'm hearing reconciling, is for there to be a relationship. Like, I'm seeing somebody with strong Sag and Aries in their chart here, like no doubt, because these cards are all connected with this fire energy over here. Okay, so we have this, we have Temperance, and we have the King of Wands. So it's like slowly getting towards what you want, but needing to be very, very patient within this connection. This fire energy is so funny the way that it's coming across. Like, I feel like if you're, like, too direct, like, you may scandalize this person a bit. Like, they may retreat a bit. That's not to say that they don't want to be around you. I just feel that you guys, your energy profile is, like, a bit different. And you would know that. But that's, like, also probably why you guys are attracted to one another. It feels like one of those opposites attract situations that you have with this person. I'm wondering too, like now it's feeling like there's a focus just on a couple here, but I'm definitely seeing like a bunch of people be involved in this situation. Like it seems like there are at least like 3, 4, maybe even 5 people that are connected with this. So anyway, where I was going with this is that King of Wands and Nine of Cups, this is somebody being like, what I want, and sort of like preparing and needing to wait, taking action on what somebody wants, but being very, very focused on like, I'm very clear on what's going on within my heart and what I would like to happen here. And I'm seeing 4 of Wands. So this is like, I want a relationship. I want this to be established. I want this to be stable. Like, I want this to be official, like that sort of thing. Where it's like, I want this to be concrete. I want to get to that point that I've been like working to get to with you, like that sort of situation here. Yeah, in every way that I'm seeing this, it ends up just being about a couple here, but I get it like didn't really start like that. It feels like it started with maybe three people working together with one another, or there's like a main group of three I'm getting. And I'm also seeing justice on the bottom of the deck too. So this can even mean like maybe moving towards something like legally even happening. Like it can be like a legal marriage or something like that, or there being like papers or just something being conjoined in some way. So I'm looking at Venus, Moon, Mercury, Neptune, Sagittarius. I'm hearing Aquarius, but I'm also Sagittarius and Aries. Okay. And I have Libra on the bottom of the deck as well. Let me just look this over. Okay, so there's someone here that you're actively working with. You guys get into a disagreement or there's a conflict of some sort. So it can be like, I want this, the other person wants that. There's like some type of issue. But you guys are both here working together with one another. But I'm seeing the conflict sort of birth some confusion into the situation. So then there can be, I'm getting definite confirmation of that. This reading is really long. Not that it matters, but I feel like this is sort of a bit of a drawn out situation. Like maybe something with the timing just feels like not happening like that. Like maybe there's some delays or it just feels like it's sort of dragging on a bit. So working together, fighting together, confused together. And then we have Empress and we have Knight of Cups and we have High Priestess, which feels like sharing something but not sharing everything. And I feel like because something is going on where maybe not everything is completely upfront, I'm hearing something about disregarded. I do feel like someone within this collaboration, someone within this situation does show up and feels very much like themselves and very expressive. Like I'm getting a very like Venusian, like Venus energy, like somebody that's like, this is me and this is how I'm expressing myself. And I'm getting that somebody felt a type of way about that. So it was like a problem, but it's not really a problem. Like the Empress isn't the one that has the problem, right? Because the Empress is like standing in their power, but this other person that's not, I'm seeing them sort of look at that and be a type of way about it. So something may have happened within the interaction with you and this person where you were like just being yourself or expressing yourself, you know, or just like being up on stage, you know, presenting your stuff, and this person felt a type of way about that. But it can also be about how we judge ourselves and is like judging our performance after we get off stage. So it can be like that sort of situation too. But I feel more so like someone may have been like low-key judging something, but maybe wasn't completely upfront saying that. And they could have wanted to go into a situation, because I'm getting, even with this Five of Swords, it feels like someone that like they may shy away from intimacy. They may have their heart like a little bit closed, but I'm seeing that they want to manifest the Ace of Cups, but they're like scared of getting hurt. So Five of Swords is like, I need to protect myself, but at the same time, you have Magician and the Ace of Cups. They want to manifest the connection, but they're also feeling like intimidated and triggered. So you have somebody with an intention here, but they're also like dealing with multiple things as well. And it feels very much like it's related and connected with their past. And something could have happened in their past where they feel very, very insecure because of it. So in these readings, it can sometimes be challenging too, because it's like you find yourself in a situation with someone where it's like, well, do you want it or not? Like, are you showing up or not? And it's like yes and no. Like, yes, they're scared. They don't want to be hurt. They're very protective of themselves, but also they have an intention of connecting with you. Like, that's what they want to create with you within the relationship. Having Magician and Ace of Cups. But I feel too like they keep this to themselves. Like, they may not be telling you all of that all the time. So they have feelings for you for sure, which I feel like you guys are connecting with one another. Obviously, you know, at this point, like I'm seeing you guys actively like working together with one another, like actively maybe like hanging out or spending time with one another, or like having these exchanges that you have. But I'm seeing like one of the people, you have these two people, you have one person that's like, I will express anything that I'm feeling. You know, this, I'm seeing again this fire energy of being like, this is what I'm feeling and this is what's going on and I'm not scared, or maybe I am scared and I'm going to do it anyway. It's like this very brave, bold energy, and I'm seeing the other person just like they're not in that spot, and that just may not be their nature. I'm seeing them be a bit more pensive, and I'm also seeing, specifically because of something that happened with them in a past, like a past relationship, they feel guarded, like they want to open up, but they're scared of being hurt, and they feel like they need to take protective measures, which I don't know if this has anything to do with you. It looks like something that happened in their past, maybe something separately from you, but I'm saying you have to be patient with them through this, if this is what you choose to do. So this is like the baggage that this person comes with, essentially. And that's where I'm seeing too this fire energy come in. I'm saying that only because I'm like trying to make it like not as confusing, because there are a lot of moving parts and like a lot of different people that I'm seeing here within the reading. With the fire energy may be like, I want to move forward now, like I want to go through with it, like let's make stuff happen, let's see what's going on. And I'm seeing the other person, they're still sort of working through their past stuff. And so this fire energy needs to be very patient with this other person that feels more, I'm hearing melodic, they feel more watery. Like especially too, like maybe they have something going on with Neptune and the moon, like definitely very water energy I'm feeling for this other person. Even though they can have other placements too, but it's like definitely something going on within their chart, it feels like. Discipline with the fire energy, needing to really like show up in a way where there's a lot of mindfulness, and also not letting your emotions get the best of you, not getting like riled up and then having a big reaction. It's about tending to that, how we need to, going through a bit of a challenging situation. But I'm seeing that like what's on the other side of this, okay? So you move through this situation with this person. Right now, the challenge and sort of what the hill that you're climbing, when you get to the top, you have 9 of Cups, which is your wish fulfillment, of King of Pentacles and Queen of Cups together in a relationship. So it's like when you get to the top of this hill with this person, it's like there's your relationship, and you guys are probably going to end up being together, because I'm seeing that you guys are like actively working with one another, and there's so much stuff that's going on with you guys. But I'm seeing at the end of it, even though like in the beginning I'm seeing things like not really feel like this and there's still challenges, it ends like this. So most likely, like for those of you that you really understand what's going on here and it's parallel to what you're experiencing, there's a likelihood that you're going to get married to this person. That's what I'm seeing. I'm hearing melodic again. And I'm hearing names that start with D. Okay. That can be just for a specific person. All right. I feel like we're finished with the reading, right? I want to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.